I have a Republican-aligned friend around here who's a gentleman and intelligent and somewhat educated, and aligns with the Republican Party because he's always been a Republican and he believes in the Republican. He's a man of great loyalties, and even though he doesn't like Trump, he refuses to see that if you don't like Trump, you can't like today's Republican Party, and you shouldn't align with it, which is what I say to him, that this is not the party that he joined as a young man and, the age of, like Gerald Ford. Or this is a different thing altogether. And what he doesn't like about Trump is he's got to see that that it's Trump that's in charge of the party, and it is an extension of his will, and it is basically in his spirit. And um, well, that brings the the issue of Nikki Haley possibly moving into a direct toward a one-to-one challenge for Trump, a sort of last gasp for the Republican Party to go with anybody else but Trump. DeSantis didn't work out, and since then, Nikki Haley seems to have emerged as the most credible threat. She's been gaining in the polls, but way, way behind Donald Trump. But some people say maybe the rest of the field will clear out and leave her one-to-one with Trump. And then the question is going to be, have I been right when I say to my friend, uh, uh, give up on the Republican Party, become a never Trumper, join the Lincoln Project, stop watching Fox News? It's just an extension of a thing you don't like. There's some confusion there. But anyway, he gets a chance here with Nikki Haley running. He gets a chance to see whether a pretty credible candidate can gather enough of support from the Republican base to displace Donald Trump for the nomination. I bet pretty heavily the answer is no, but I hear about people who don't like Trump, and then there are people who do like Trump, but they're tired of all the drama, and then there are people who like Trump and don't mind the drama, but they don't like losing, and they see him as having become an albatross around, the fulfillment of their electoral goals. Neck. Let's redo that metaphor in the in the editing room. I don't know how much they add up to, but if I had to guess, I'll guess that 60% of the Republican base belongs to Trump, and that even a rather good candidate, as Republicans go, Nikki Haley, is articulate. She actually seems to have some humanity, which she can show, unlike, say, DeSantis. She behaves well. She looks good. And she's trying to sell her positions as sounding reasonable. But she's a Republican, and the Republican Party is all screwed up. So we definitely don't want a Haley presidency, but it would not be as corrosive of our democracy by a long shot as the election of Donald Trump. And I don't know, actually, which would be better. Haley in some ways would be stronger against Biden. Because Trump has made so many moves that turn off a lot of people. Even if he wins the Republican nomination, that's not going to be enough for a good showing. And I think he's not going to appeal. American majority. I think it'll be uh, pretty lopsided, but I think he'll get the Republican nomination on something like a 60-40 basis, and that will weaken the Republican Party in the general election. So Haley getting the nomination might be more difficult. On the other hand, Chris Hayes was imagining that if Trump got defeated for the Republican nomination, Trump would do things to punish the Republican Party, like run. Nobody actually said this, but I imagine punishing the Republican Party would mean running as a third party candidate. Uh, how possible that would be after by the time the nomination was determined, I don't know. But if the Republican vote was split between Trump on the revenge party versus Nikki Haley with the Republican nomination versus the single Democratic candidate Joe Biden, that might be a good scenario. The only reason that Abraham Lincoln ever got elected in 1960 was that the way that the parties had split up um, over the issue of slavery. I mean, first the Whig Party broke up over the issue of slavery, making room for the Republican Party to be born, and then in 1860, the polarization that had grown so great that even slave power ass-kissing Stephen Douglas wasn't extreme enough in pro-slavery for the secession-minded South, and they've divided their Democratic vote, and so Lincoln won, and the rest is history. So anyway, I don't know which scenario is best. All I know is that Biden must win. This Republican Party is so far gone that we need for it to lose and lose badly. And if more losses are required for this force to get driven out of control of this party, then more losses, but at least a real drubbing in 2024. That's the best thing that could happen for this country, because the losing is not what political powers want. That's why the Koch brothers, I think, have come in to back Nikki Haley with a lot of money. I don't think that they disapprove of Trump's fascism. After all, the Koch brothers have been a major anti-democracy force in America with the ALEC, ALEC, whatever that abbreviation stands for. They have been undermining our democracy right along, and I don't think it would bother them to have an increasingly fascistic regime. I think that they're afraid that Joe Biden will win if Trump is the nominee, and they think they have a better chance of getting the presidency in the hands of somebody with more Republican priorities like the Koch brothers. I don't know if their issue is still climate change or it's just got to do with the general plutocracy they've been working for with incredible brilliance, I would say, by the way. But anyway, they're not stupid. They wouldn't put this money into Nikki Haley if they knew it was hopeless. But I don't know how much grounds they have for hope. I'm guessing that the odds are 6-1 that Trump will be the nominee. The ratio between the two of them would be roughly 60-40 if they were able to go head to head. And of course, the nature of the followings is such that if any of the other candidates stay in and take votes, they will take them away from Nikki Haley. So it would be 60-40, and with the 40 minus anything else that other candidates still in the race are getting. So anyway, that's just my intuitive sense of things. And I will communicate to my Republican friend that here we've got the test. Maybe he was right. If Nikki Haley can wrest this nomination from Donald Trump, it will be because people like him stayed working into the Republican Party enough to deny Trump the renomination. But I don't think it's going to happen. Well, thank you. Please go check out more about my bigger framework for understanding the forces at work in our world, found on my website, abetterhumanstory.org. My life's work has been putting some pieces together that I actually do believe could have a beneficial impact if it was more part of the way we thought about things than it is. It's out there some, but not in to a trivial degree. So I hope you will check it out if you're the kind of person who would care to know that I claim to prove, to know whether the claim is valid, that I can show that the ugliness we see in human history, for example, is not human nature writ large. And I can show that the best way of understanding the political crisis in America is a battle between two forces that have been embattled at the center of the human drama since the rise of civilization, and a few other things that I claim that I can pretty well show. Appreciate your attention, and we'll be interested to see what Nikki Haley can do, which is to say how much the Republican Party is owned by this openly fascist leader. Bye-bye.